All right, well, we're going to pick up with, this is video 4 for how to create a GUI user interface. And our program now is starting to look a little bit similar to what we want the design to look like. Label 1, though, should say Hello World. So let's start there. So if I click on Label 1, do I have to name a label? I could, but it's a little redundant. I'm not going to be referring to it in any of my code necessarily, but it's probably not a bad idea. So I'm going to say label, and then I'm going to say Hello World, and that'll be for number 1. Now down below, I'm going to change the text again to Hello World, but this time I want it to look a little different. I want the font to be larger, and these are attributes or properties of that particular object. So under here, I'm going to select maybe the font, and under font, we can change the size, and I think from here, if I'm not mistaken, I could probably change that to 16-point size, and you can see right away over here how it looks a little bit larger, and we can change the foreground color or font color to maybe red. That might, well, that changes all of them because that object was not selected. You see what happened here? I actually selected it to all of them of the form control. So let's back out of there. Lesson learned, we have to make sure we select the object that we want the property to be applied to and click on custom, and there, that's a lot better. All right, so that's sort of imitating the design of this. Now I might have selected a different font or attribute to that font. Anyway, let's go back into this one, and you should start to see a pattern forming here. So it's a label for Hello World number 2. And then down at the bottom, we're going to go Hello World number 2. And I'm going to put that in beside it and maybe change, again, change the font, make it a little bit larger. I think I used 16 on the last one. And maybe change the foreground color of that object. Now it's selected, okay, I can make sure it's selected. It's currently black, but I want it to be a custom red color. And there we go. All right, moving on, compared to the original, we've got, this one's blank, but we probably should name it, and I think we did that. We named that in the last video, and we took out the text here because we're going to code this a little differently. I'm going to make that the same size. Let's move on to the picture box. Now the picture box, we want to install a picture. So to do that, it's a property of the picture box. So we're going to go over to properties again, and we want to go to the property called image, and there's a little 3-dot ellipsis right here. And from there, we can locate the picture. So I currently don't have anything in my repository of resources, so I'm going to have to import. And these pictures are available in your program files. So let me just see where it is. I'm going to pause it to find. All right, I had to go looking for it. It's in the resource folder under images. It's a picture of a cat that comes with. So once I click on the cat picture, I should be able to say OK, and it'll add it in there. Now, when you see what happens is that when it added it in, it put it in its native size. So we might have to go back in and change the mode, the size mode. And again, that's a property, so we can stretch it or auto size it. So there's the auto size. That's the best fit, although if we stretched it, it would skew it. So I'll stick with auto size, and I'll modify my form a little bit to compensate for that. All right, so I'll move some objects around here, and there we go. So you can see it's starting to look a little bit like the application that we've been tasked to develop. All right, from there, we've got a couple more down here called the clear button and the exit button. It's in the same format. I'll do that and then carry on with video, the next video.